Welcome to Amud Yomi Shiur. We are in Makkos, Daf Hey Amud Aleph in the bottom of the page, the very, very, very bottom of the page. Today's page is Hey Amud Beis, but we just have to start off with those few words in Hey Amud Aleph at the very bottom of the page. Before we continue, so first of all, I want to tell you that those of us who watch us on Torah Anytime, thank you for your growing interest in our Shiur. I will be away for a week, so this year will be off record and off completely until next week. Apologize, but yeah, I have my circumstances. And this year's, as always, Leilu Nishmas, my dear father, Menachem ben Akiva, and for the Hatzlocha of all the people who need Yeshua nowadays, yeah, the captives, the soldiers, everybody should be Matzliach, the Gans Klal Yisrael. Now, we still have a little bit of a debt from yesterday. We have a very full, interesting page today, full of very big Yesodos foundations of zomemim. But there was one point which I think I left a little bit unclear yesterday, and I don't like to do that. So I'm going to Balpeh review what we said yesterday. We spoke yesterday about eidim zomemim, who were basically caught zomemim, but they still have a way out by claiming that something almost supernatural happened to them, which means, let's say that the eidim zomemim, the example the Gemara brings down is, the eidim zomemim said, we were in this very, very large building, right, hall, and we saw a murder taking place on the eastern side. Okay, fine, very nice. Not so nice. The guy murdered, the edus is accepted. And then came the mezimim, and the mezimim say, no, imanu ha'isem, you were with us in the western wing of that place, of that very large place, that train station, that whatever that is, and therefore you are imanu ha'isem. But wait a second, maybe the eidim zomemim actually saw and watched the murder happening from the western wing all the way to the eastern one, right? All the way there. So the Gemara says, depends. If the normal human being can watch and see, it's within the field of vision of normal people to see from the west to the east, or vice versa, then they're not zomemim, then they're right. And then what do we say? We kill the guy. Yes. Then if they're not zomemim, it's a very cruel game over here. Because if they're not zomemim, then we kill Mr. Defendant, Mr. Accused. The accused, in this case, right? Accused by them. And if they are zomemim, then get killed. So, okay. Yeah. It's not funny. And therefore, although in Beis Din we always want to apply the halacha, which we learned many times in Sanhedrin, that tzilu ha'eda, Beis Din always do their best to try and find reasons and excuses not to kill someone. Here, someone would be killed, right? So therefore, we say, if they can naturally, normally see what happened on the other side, then we accept the eidim, and they're not zomemim. The first ones are good guys, a good eidim, and we accept it and we kill him. However, if it's not normal to see that far, right, and they could maybe claim we have super duper, we can see like a dog, infrared vision. We see better than others, way, way better. We don't accept that. And I saw the Rambam yesterday, and it doesn't give exceptions. You're asking a question, let's give them an eye test. Why should I give them an eye test? Because we know that the average normal guy that has 20/20 vision, in Israel it's called 6/6 vision, yeah? Then we know that that person, nobody who's normal can see that far. They claim we have some super, we can see better than others. That's already too far-fetched. That's too, digging up ideas which are very far-fetched, mechitesi. And we don't have a reason here to defend one more than the other, because anyhow someone will be killed, right? So therefore, if it's not normal for you guys to see that far, you're zomemim. If you're zomemim, we'll save him, and you guys will be killed. Although I saw an Achronim saying differently, but I decided to be a poshetiyah to follow the Rambam. The Rambam says poshet zomemim, not zomemim. That's it. We don't look for azoi, maybe. No, the normal person can see that. And therefore, if you said you could see that, we don't accept it. And the same thing goes for the flying camel. Maybe you took that very, very quick, fast, super duper fast camel, the Tesla of the camels, and you managed to be, so quick between Surah and Ardo, the other case, morning to afternoon. Maybe there is 1%, 2% likelihood, but we don't follow that. Weiter. We have a lot on our plate today. I prefer no questions, but yesterday or okay, no, weiter. We have a full page ahead of us. Yay! Go ahead. Weiter. We're not quoting the Mishnah, the very, very bottom of here with Aleph. Rabbi Yehuda Omer istisizu. What does that mean? We had a case of, the case was as follows. We have one cut of eidim who said that someone killed or whatever happens, but they're made that someone, let's say, killed. Then came the other eidim, the mezimim said, imonu isem. Oh, so the first ones, boom, off the chart, out of the game, there's zomemim. But you know what happened next? Another set of eidim came, and they said, no. Another set of eidim came instead of the first ones, or in addition to them, and they said, so and so killed, so and so stole. And the same mezim them also, and they say, no, imano hisem. You say that he stole in the supermarket in Bet Shemesh, you were with us in Haifa. A third one comes, and a fourth and a fifth. Everyone is made against Mr. Thief slash murderer slash whatever, yeah? And it's always the same eidim ha-mezimim who keep being mezim. They're like a machine gun. They're not a gun, they're a machine gun. They boom, boom, boom. They keep shooting their hazoma arrows against every eidim, every set of eidim that come. So now says Tanakama doesn't say anything. He says, Kulam yahogu, and chenami. If those mezimim say that even 100 people were with them in Haifa, must have been a big party over there. So we believe the mezimim because that's the cold letter of the law. Rabbi Yehuda says, no, this cut of eidim, those forever perpetual mezimim, too good to be true. Something that doesn't smell right. They're istis. Istis says Rashi that they are like soitim. They're like, distorted. They're like perverted. Something is wrong here. We're concerned that they're paid and tipped off by the accused to always be mazim anyone that came against them. And some Rishonim say, as Tosfos and other Rishonim say, istis is color. What does color mean? It's like red color. The Ritva says they want to paint everyone with blood. They want to paint everyone with all the what they hold as zomemim. They want to kill everybody. And I saw somewhere else, I think B'Shem the Rif, they said it's like paint. When you touch paint, you get everyone who touches the jug of paint, right, always gets red. In other words, they're like a source of red paint. Whichever eidim come near them, boom, they get framed and incriminated. Beseder. Now, basically, what's a machloikas? Let's give an introduction to the machloikas. According to Tanakama, we go by the letter of the law. These eidim, the mezimim, nothing. If you look just at them, not contextually, they're made imano isem. Imano isem, they're believed. Who cares that they're talking against other people? Rabbi Yehuda says, let's think out of the box. Let's look at the whole context. It's very funny that the same eidim that were with so many people, something that doesn't smell right. When you look at the big context, the big picture, it's not so sensible, not so logical to say that there really are, they were there with so many people. Look at the big picture. It looks like somebody here has an agenda. And they seem to be dating amazing. They're probably working for the accused. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. However, Rabbi Yehuda said one thing which I already told in the Mishnah seems strange. Rabbi Yehuda said, you can look, by the way, in the Mishnah, if you're still in Amud Aleph, in the first wide line, which is the last line of the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Omer istisizu ve'eno nerag elakas rishona bilvad. You only believe them regarding the first group, not regarding the other groups. And that's obviously very, very strange. Zok the Gemara. Oh, we're finally starting today's page. Mazel tov. What do we say? If this cut is istis, they're liars, they're colors, whatever. I feel so they shouldn't be believed regarding the first one either. In other words, if we didn't do anything to the first group, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth group, that's too much. Hey, guys, it's getting out of control. So we believe now, we hold now that the second group are a bunch of liars. Not the second, the mezimim, the machine gun, boom, 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 against all the eidim, they're not believed. So why do you believe them regarding the first group either? The bunch of liars. Answers the Gemara, Omar bi'abo, shekodmu v'horgu enechinami. We're talking here about a case in which the first ones were killed already. We're not saying that they should be killed. We're saying that they were killed. Once they were killed, what can you do? In other words, we already followed the halacha, the psak of the mezimim regarding the first group. Zichonim levrocha, they died. What can you do? The second ones, from now on, we will not believe those mezimim because they're getting too happy. They're too perpetual in their behavior. Why is it relevant? Are we learning here Jewish history? My dehava hava. What's been. My dehava, what has been already. The Mishnah is supposed to tell me halacha, not stories. Why is the Mishnah telling me? Oh, the first ones were killed already. Oh, what can we do? From now on, we won't believe them. Who cares whether they were killed or not? I care they were killed, but why does it have halachic relevance? It's a story. Ela Oma Rova, therefore says Rova the following. Hachikoma. This is what Rabbi Yehuda means to say. Im eina lokas achas nereges. If it's only one group of two against another group of two, that's classic eidim zomemim nereges. We kill the first ones because only one edus. Those second eidim mezimim are not too habitual. They're regular, one against one. But ikatfei enerogin. If the second group goes against the too many of them zomemim, they go against Berel and Shmuel, against Reuben and Shimon, against Levi and Yehuda, against Binyamin and Yosef, then once it's more, we don't kill anybody, not the first, not the second. In other words, Rova is telling me that depends. There are two different stories here, according to Rova. If it's one against one, let's make it just clear. In the Beis Din of Ashdod, there were one group against the other group. Classical case. Bring all the kids from Kita Dalet. They learn about it. One against one, boom. Those, boom, they get out of the game, and they're zomemim. We kill them. But in the Beis Din not of Ashdod, the Beis Din of Ashkelon, there were what? There was another story of one group against many. Then we don't believe that one mizimim who go like machine gun against everyone. We don't believe them at all. It's two separate stories. Very good. Frag the Gemara, this is factually true, but the Lashon is not so good. The words of the Mishnah don't work right according to Rava's Pshat. Why? Because the Mishnah says, Ha bilvad ka'omar. The Mishnah said you only kill the first ones. If the Beis Din of Ashdod only has one, why do you have to say only? Right? Only is exclusive. If I have here 4 people in the room and I say, I'm only talking to you, Yitzchok, I'm only talking to you, obviously, and not to the other ones. But if nobody in the room except for Yitzchak, everybody else is not here, I don't have to say I'm only talking to you. Obviously, he's the only guy around. Right? What do you mean, bilvad? Kasha. Kasha. The Gemara remains with a question. The Gemara remains with an unclear, unresolved point, and we don't know why Rabbi Yehuda said what he said. The Svar Rabbi Yehuda makes sense, but the idea of killing, of relating only to the first cut and not second, third, fourth, that we don't understand what Rabbi Yehuda meant. Okay, there's a question in the Mishnah. No, I haven't seen. I was concentrating more on the next case. I've seen stuff. There's very interesting ritva on the following case. No, I don't. I am sure there is some kind of solution later on in halachic scripture and literature, but I do not know. Weiter. What? The Gemara didn't. I don't have to be smarter than the Gemara. I'm a simple guy. I told you. Story time about a woman who went to Beis Din. Ha'i itza. There was a lady, the Asoy Sahadi. A lady was accused of something. I don't know, Chilul Shabbos, whatever that was. She was accused of something, maybe stealing, maybe something. And she brought eidim. She brought eidim to defend her case. She brought eidim to defend, not zomemim. This, by the way, is that particular case is not eidim zomemim. It will be compared to our Mishnah zomemim. She brought eidim, ve'ishtakwar. They were found out to be liars, which means, says Rashi, the Pashut Beis Din investigates eidim big time. Beis Din really grills and drills the eidim like anything. And those two eidim, their versions were not coordinated, right? They were not, they're not very well coordinated, and they came out as liars. Okay, I see Sahadi, so she brought another group, Veishtaku, and also they came out to be liars. So already twice, she has this habit of bringing eidim that are pashut liars. Oslo Aisi Sad Yachini. She brought a third group of eidim, the Loishtaku, and those eidim were found out outwardly to be good, amazing, and their versions were actually fitting each other very well. So now, Omar Ishlakish, again, you're beginning to smell the idea. If you go by just looking at the eidim, group number 3, brought by Superwoman, those 3, the third one, everything they say makes sense. They say whatever, she had an alibi, she was Mechal Shabbos, whatever it was no Hasra. They're made for her. Good. So let's accept them. What they're saying as of itself seems to be okay. Omar Reish Lakish, no. Says Reish Lakish, let's look at the bigger picture. Uchzeka zu. This lady is muchzak to be a troublemaker, a mafioso. In other words, she's muchzak. She already twice, and the chumrah we say twice chazaka. She twice brought bad eidim of sheker. Therefore, she's muchzak to look for bring eidim sheker. So from her, in this court case, we don't believe anybody anymore. We lost our trust in her. One second, in her eidim, because it looks like she has a habit of bringing the wrong kind of guys. So even though this time she trained them well, she paid more money for more professional liars. But Lamaisa, anything coming from her besmedrush, anything coming from her initiative, from her brains, they we don't believe in them anymore. Excuse, 1 second. That's Reish Lakish. Omar lo Ablozo, comes Ablozo ben Pedas, and told Reish Lakish, he's another Eretz Yisrael Moira. It says, no, in hi huchzeko, kol Yisrael mi huchzeku. In other words, even if she's a liar, which she may be not the biggest tzaddikus, and she's muchzek to try and bring the wrong kind of eidim, are you telling me that the entire Jewish nation is muchzak? Meaning, are you telling me that those third group of eidim, the two eidim, are also liars, or anybody who'd come now from Gans Klal Yisrael became liars? In other words, she may want to look for trouble and bring the wrong eidim. You tell me any eidim who come, look at the eidim. Eidim came from where? From Klal Yisrael, called the Polish Meruba Polish. Most Klal Yisrael are tzaddikim gemurim, and not lying in Beis Din. In other words, again, the idea of Reb Lazar is don't look at her and her plans and her programs. Look at the Eidim themselves. The Eidim themselves look to be very frum, very nice, very liable, gave an amazing Eidim. Believe them. Yes, Peretz. Rabbeinu Peretz. We may have to stay longer after 10:30 today, which is fine with me. Yeah.
It seems in the text that these witnesses were telling porkies, right? Telling false.
The first ones. So basically, yeah, Sprek the Ritva, yeah, if you're telling me according to, if you listen carefully to the words of Rablozo, in hi huchzeka, she, I believe you halfway, Reish Lakish, she may be a haham liar. She's muchzeka to be a kochalefel. She's muchzek to look for their own kind of eidim, but they are good. It doesn't mean that those people are liars. Who says that she would find somebody would come here to the room full of tzaddikim and would offer you to kill the Chilul Shabbos with hard drugs? He can offer as much as he wants. Nobody would listen to him. But he's a bad guy, the one who's trying to push us for Avera. So therefore, fact the Ritva, wait a second. Even if you agree that those are good eidim, but if you hold that she's a liar, mitzad that you shouldn't believe what she's saying. In other words, if she's a liar because she's looking for bad eidim, that means she did smoke on Shabbos. It means that she did do the bad thing, right? And therefore, mitzad that nip it at the bud. That's a question. Maybe, okay? Nah, answers the Ritva, no. Says the Ritva, lav dafka, that's not true. Could be that the lady herself, she surely didn't do the Avera. Maybe her claim is right, but she's looking for wrong eidim. That can happen. You have a guy who's framed, and what, or a girl that's framed, and really they are right be'etzem, but they're so desperate, they're doing shkalim and lies to save their skin. So therefore, she may be muchzak to look for the wrong people, but it doesn't mean that she's looking for wrong eidim because she doesn't want to get skila. But it doesn't mean that she really was mechalel Shabbos. So let's divide and conquer. She could be not good in the way she's behaving in Beis Din, but could be that the content of the edus is right. And could be she really is a good woman who wasn't Mechalel Shabbos. Therefore, says Reb Lazar, give her a chance and get the other eidim to come and talk, and you should. Rabbi Yochanan says, Reish Lakish says, no, I lost trust in her eidim that she brings, and therefore, because the eidim that she brings, she's paying whoever can speak nicer and better, and therefore, I just don't accept edus coming because her eidim system is wrong. That is Reish Lakish versus Reb Lazar. Now, continues the story, second chapter of the story. Zimnin, there was another time, later on, at some point later on in time, Havu Yasvi Kamedo Rabbi Yochanan. Listen to the case. Reish Lakish and Rabbi Lozo are sitting in front of Rabbi Yochanan. The relationship is as follows. Rabbi Yochanan is the Rebbe of Reish Lakish, is a Rebbe and a brother-in-law, but it was Makaravim, yeah? Is a Talmid Chaver. Rabbi Yochanan was the Rebbe of both Reish Lakish and Rabbi Lozo. The two Amoraim who argued now, Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lazar, both are disciples of Rabbi Lazar, of Rabbi Yochanan. And listen to this: Asaki Aimaisa lekamayu came the case to Beis Din. there was mamshe based in case Rabbi Yochanan being the main judge, the dayan. In such a case, mamish came of a woman like that who kept bringing edei sheker. Omar Shlakish. Shlakish is saying what his opinion is. You shouldn't accept the third edus. I'm now talking to you. Don't accept the third edim. Don't let them open their mouth. I don't care what they say anymore. She's muchzik to be a shakrani. She keeps bringing us bad edim. Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Now Rabbi Yochanan is now responding and says, "Im huchzikazu kol Yisrael mi huchziku." Rabbi Yochanan is basically saying what Rabbi Lazar said before, and he said she may be a liar, not liar. She may be looking for wrong edim. By the Rashi is meduk like the Ritva. Huchzik Rashi says lehavi edei sheker. She wants to bring Ed the Sheker. Doesn't mean that she's a liar, and maybe they are good guys. Maybe these people are emes. He didn't really prove them wrong, specifically looking at them. Now, listen what happened. What beforehand was mentioned by the Talmid Rabbi Lazar is now said by Rabbi Yochanan the Rebbe. Now, Rish Lakish is very upset with Rabbi Lazar drama. Hodar Chazel Rabbi Lazar bishus. Rish Lakish turned his face to Rabbi Lazar angrily. He made an angry face to Rabbi Lazar and said, Omar lei, Rabbi Shlakish is upset with Rabbi Lazar. And he said, Shomas mili mi bar nafcha v'lo amart li mishmei. You heard that word. That sounds scaringly similar to something I heard from you. I'm hearing now Rebbe, our dear Rebbe, Rabbi Yochanan, saying what you told me. Now the Rebbe, Rabbi Yochanan, is called Bar Nafcha, the son of the blacksmith, because Rabbi Yochanan's father was one, Bar Nafcha. Or Rashi says somewhere else, because Rabbi Yochanan was a very, very handsome man. Rabbi Yochanan and Bar Nafcha shows, I don't know why Nafcha is handsome. I guess it's handsome. I don't know. I've never seen blacksmith if they're handsome or not. But Lamaisa, yeah. But you heard something from Rabbi Yochanan and you didn't tell me that what you're saying, I thought it was your own idea and you didn't quote the source, which is really Rabbi Yochanan. Question number one, yeah, which I got an answer from Rabbi Hananel. What difference does it make whether Rabbi Yochanan said it or not? And secondly, why didn't he really quote the source? Zogt the Rabbi Shloime, you're saying because Kol Medova b'Shemaim maybe Giul Aloilam. Answer number one. Answer number two, and this is brilliant, Rabbi Hananel, he says like this: had I known that the one who said it was Rebbe, I wouldn't have argued in front of him, in front of Beis Din. To argue with you, I could, but had I known what you're saying is Rebbe, Rabbi Yochanan Shlakish, argue many times, but not in front of Beis Din. In Beis Din, it's worse. So, Frek the Ritva, why didn't Rabbi Lazar quote the real source? Two opposite answers. Either Rabbi Yochanan never really said that, and Rabbi Lazar was mechaven by fluke, but he really didn't hear it from Rabbi Yochanan, or the other way around, Rabbi Lazar would say, there's such a concept in the Gemara, everything I say is automatically Rabbi Yochanan. He's like such a big Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan, anything I say is known to Rabbi Lazar. In other words, I don't have to say Rabbi Yochanan because I'm an automatic shofar, I'm a megaphone, I'm a spokesman for Rabbi Yochanan, like a spokesman of the president, Lavdil, everything president says, he says. So too, right? So too, Lavdil, I'm a spokesman for Rabbi Yochanan, and therefore, for sure, everything he says is. But yeah, you're good. Now we're getting to try and connect Machlokes Shlakish and Rabbi Yochanan. Now it's real Shlakish against Rabbi Yochanan to the Machlokes of Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon. Oh, that's a very, very interesting attempt to connect. Zog the Gemara. Lema, let us say, one second, please. Lema.
Is now based on himself. It's not based on Rabbi Yochanan.
Yes. Now we're trying to connect Rish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan to Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon in the Mishnah. Let's see how. Zog the Gemara. Lema Rish Lakish domer Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yochanan domer Rabbanon. This needs explanation. Let's now assume. Let's try and connect and allege and say Rish Lakish is following the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yochanan Chachomim. Why is that? Listen to the comparison. It's as follows. I tried to prepare you for that. Rish Lakish is telling me, think outside the box. Thinks of the big picture, the context. Although these eidim, the third group that came to Beis Din, they gave an amazing eidus. Nice, Yerushalayim people. They spoke so honestly. Everything the same. Wow. I should teach it in school. But look at the bigger picture, okay? This lady already is known to be a kocha lefale. She is bringing all kinds of people to the Beis Din. Look at the bigger story here, okay? That's similar to Rabbi Yehuda. What did Rabbi Yehuda say? Rabbi Yehuda also said, if I have eidim who say, Imanu Isem, Imanu Isem, Imanu Isem, there are Imanu Haisem machine. Well, if you look just at the cold a letter of the law, at the picture in a keyhole vision, yes, they're Mizim, Imanu Haisem. Says Rabbi Yehuda, look at the bigger picture. If they said it one against one Mela, but one against so many, something here out of the picture in the big context is a little bit too funny that they were with so many people. So maybe the Shlakish follows Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yochanan like Rabbanon. Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbanon say, no, we're looking at the Eidus individually through a keyhole. That Eidus is good. I don't care if the woman is a nice woman, liar or not. I care about the Eidus as of itself. The Eidus is good. Same thing with eidim zomemim. Eidim mezimim, who mezimim one after the other. We grilled them well. They gave good Eidus. They were amazing, and they happened to be in the same, Siyum Hashchas in Haifa with all these people, while they claim they were in Bet Shemesh. We look just individually at them, and says the Gemara, no. Adkan, yeah, Zog the Gemara, no. Omar Lakish, no, I know, says Lakish, I damri lechafilu l'Rabbanon. What I say is true, even according to Rabbanon. Wow, how could that be? Adkan lo kami Rabbanon hosom, the leka de kamehada. Over there is no brain behind the system. There's no one person who's mehada, who's looking to bring more and more eidim. They are self motivated. Those eidim keep saying edus, edus, edus. There's no baldin, there's no plaintiff here, there's no litigant who brought them. They came to Beis Din and they kept spritzing the edus against many people. And therefore we believe them. But over here, that lady, we know that there's this mafiosa, there's a brain here who keeps bringing people. That's her. And that's why I don't believe them. It's much worse. Yeah, there's something tainted in the edus because we know there's somebody who keeps bringing them in. And therefore, even Rabbanan would agree with me. There, Rabbi Yochanan would also disengage himself from the Mechloikis and the common Rabbi Yehuda. Says Rabbi Yochanan, no. When I say you accept the edus, even Rabbi Yehuda would agree with me that you should accept the edus. Why? Adkan lo kamar Rabbi Yehuda hosam, first wide line. Adkan lo kamar Rabbi Yehuda hosam, damrinan atu kule alma gebehani avukaimi. Cat is out of the bag. That's the reason. Says Rabbi Yehuda, I'm sorry. Although, yeah, you tell me the edus is individually okay, I don't even agree to that. So many people, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100 eidim, and all of them were with you in Haifa. I didn't hear of a big event in Haifa that day. It's not sensible as of itself. The edus itself is a shtickle modern. It's a shtickle strange. So many people are with you at that moment in another town. Aval hocha, but over here, no. In the case of the lady, the edus is a good edus. Hani yadi b'sadusa, vani lo yadi b'sadusa, similar to parents. What you said, they know the edus and they don't. Why are you making this? Why are you besmirching the lady? She's a liar and she brought bad eidim. She brought bad eidim at the beginning who didn't know the edus. Maybe they're trying to help. They were clumsy. They were liars. I don't know. The first ones happened not to do the good job, but the third one she managed. But the third attempt, she brought good eidim. She's good, and the third eidim are good also. Mainly, even Rabbi Yehuda would agree with me that it's okay to accept the third edus, and we don't completely disqualify and paint black the whole picture of the lady and all her eidim. And halacha is like Rabbi Yochanan. Yeah, halacha is like Rabbi Yochanan, and we believe the third set of eidim. Reminds me, you're trying to get a code, and first, second, third time you don't get the code right. The fourth time they tell you too many false attempts. That's it. So. Weiter. Zog the Heilige Mishnah. We have to finish today. I want to finish with the beautiful words paise. At the end of the Amud today, we're going to see Be'ezus Hashem the word lefayes, to appease, which I think the word peace probably comes from there. You realize that pius is like to make peace. So peace probably comes from pius. Yeah. Weiter. Zog the Heilige Mishnah. And eidim zomemim nerogin. This is again very classical part, very integral part of eidim zomemim, and we're going to see Be'ezus Hashem what is the source for that. En eidim zomemim nerogin ad shigomer adin. Eidim zomemim only get killed at the point, only from the point of gmar din, when the gavel was down, and we know for sure that the eidim zomemim, the psak was like the eidim zomemim wanted it to be. We paskened upon the eidim zomemim's eidus, and at that point, if the other eidim came and remazim, we kill the first one, the zomemim. Now, how do you know that? The tzdukim used to say, the tzdukim always read the Torah too much kipshutoi, and Oimrim achi yehorig. No, eidim the tzdukim said Ed zomim only gets killed, executed only once you killed, practically executed the accused, the one that was framed. Shenemar nefesh benefesh. It's not tachas nefesh. The nefesh tachas nefesh is one word. Is another pasuk. Here it's nefesh benefesh. Nefesh benefesh is a pasuk that describes the eidim zomimim. At the end, yad beyad, nefesh benefesh. Yeah, you have to give nefesh under a nefesh, which the tzdukim seem to be right. It says nefesh benefesh. You kill the soul, therefore you will be killed, as a revenge for that. Nefesh benefesh. Mashma the nefesh, the soul was taken. Omalim chachamim. Chachamim are responding to the tzdukim, and they say no. There's a pasuk, contradictory pasuk. It says in another pasuk, the famous one, "V'asisem lo kashel zomam lasos leochiv." Listen to the words. It's not a drosha. You have to do to him as he plotted, as he planned to do to his brother. Yeah. Are we angry with the Nazis because they planned the Holocaust? No, they executed it. They did it, right? I'm so angry with this guy who was planning to do that. What are you planning? If he executed it, you say he did it. If you say you do to them as they planned to do, as they plotted to do, sounds very much like Vare Ochiv Kayim. Yeah, mashma from the Torah that his brother, the accused, is there. They only planned. So basically, there are two contradictory psukim. One pasuk says you kill them because they planned to do bad. The other pasuk says nefesh benefesh, soul for soul, life for life. I'll tell you why. This is one of the most beautiful droshes I've seen in my life. Why nefesh benefesh? There are two extremes. What happens when you have two extremes? The husband wants this, the wife wants that. Mediator. You go for the middle. You should be jumping even before you saw the Mishnah. On one hand, we say only when they plotted. On the other hand, we said when they killed. The healthy middle is when? Gmar din. Says the Mishnah, Yochol, Mishosh Kiblu Edus and Yehorgu. If you'd only go the extreme of the pasuk of what? Of Kashel Zomam, I would say once they opened their mouth in Beis Din and the Edus was accepted, that's a good Edus. The Deonim were impressed with the startling, amazing 5-star Edus, right? Even before the Gmar Din, kill them now. They were zomemim. They gave an amazing Edus, impressive, to the point, very good. Yeah, I would say kill them already because they gave the Edus. They were planning, they were plotting, they were speaking, they were accepted. Talmud lo nefesh benefesh. Nefesh benefesh is pulling me the other direction. There has to be not execution, there has to be a decision to execute. There has to be gevel dam gmar din. Again, if we'd go just with the pasuk kashel zomam planned, once he gave edus, not stop plopping thinking. They gave edus, which was accepted in Beis Din. Beis Din ticked the box. And then the mizimim come, kill the first ones. And if I only had the pasuk nefesh benefesh, I would say only when the guy was really executed, is now in olam haba, then you kill the zomemim. But when you have two psukim, you go into the healthy middle, bang in the middle. That is what? That is Gmar Din. Gmar Din is Zomam. Nothing was done. On the other hand, it's Nefesh B'Nefesh because there was a decision to kill him. And once a person is decided to be executed in Beis Din, he's dead man walking. Very good. The healthy middle is Punkt Gmar Din. Gmar Din is the middle ground between Kashel Zomam and Nefesh B'Nefesh. Let's dance. No, weiter. Sag der Heilige Gemorre. Sag der Heilige Gemorre. Yeah. Tana Berebi Oimer. Berebi is the name of a Tana. And this Tana said, Oimer, he says what we basically know now. Lo Horgu Ne'erogin. If they didn't kill, meaning no execution was carried, then at that point you killed eidim zomemim. Horgu ein ne'erogin. But if he was executed, the guy that accused the poor guy, then we don't kill them anymore. Which obviously we just learned it from the psukim, but the logic seems funny. Omar Aviv, the father of the Tana, asked him a question, and he asked him, Bni, my son, lav kol v'chomeru. It's very nice. The Torah told you the one there was a Gemar Din, there was decision. You have to execute him. Oh, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Weiter. Beseder. So now let's go. Okay. Lav kal v'chomer Omar lo l'medetanu Rabbeinu. So Omar Ovi b'ni lav kal v'chomer hu. It's a kal v'chomer. In other words, at the end of the day, if I know that if they wanted to execute, then what happens then? Then we kill him. Kol sheken, if they were killed, of course we should kill him. We can use kal v'chomer. Omar lo, says the son to the father, limaditenu Rabbeinu, you taught us, our father, my master, my father. I don't know how the father didn't know the own. I'm not sure who's right. Who was Rabbeinu? But the time knew Rabbeinu is talking to the father. I don't know. Lamaisa, the limud of some rabbi, either the father or someone else. She'en oinshin minadin. Oh, that's a famous rule. We have it in a whole page about that in Sanhedrin Undaled. En oinshin minadin means as follows: you don't give a person an oynish based on kal v'chomer. In other words, although it's very logical, if the Torah tells you to punish X, so kol sheken, X times 2, of course should be punished. Let's say by killing, by execution, we don't say that. We don't follow that, and there's a reason for that, which I'll tell you later. But let's first get the facts right. The Tanya, it says in the Brisa, Isha sharikach esachoisoi bas oviv oi bas imoy. This is a person, lo aleinu, is marrying his sister. Marrying meaning he has relations, can't really marry. He has the relations with, sadly so, his, how do you call his sister? Bas Oviv, his father's daughter. Oy Bas Imo, his mother's daughter. Okay, meaning half sister. The Torah, at the beginning of the pasuk, tells you, that girl is your half sister. Don't have ideas half sister is okay to be too friendly with. No, you can't. Not just you can't. That pasuk is, by the way, telling you the oynish of chorus, that he gets chorus. Wait a second. So the Torah, let's be medak the pasuk. I would say this is only true for Bas Oviv, Shaloi Bas Imoy. The Bas Oviv, which is only from the father and not to the mother. Ubas Imoy, Shaloi Bas Oviv. Yeah, Bas Imoy, the sister from the mother and not from the father. Because it's a half sister each way. But Bas Imoy, Ubas Oviv Minayin. How do you know that if the guy had relations with the full sister, who is a sister from the father and the mother, how do you know that he gets punished? How do you know that he gets chores? Talmud loymar, he also gets malchus. There's a special pasuk, special words at the end of the pasuk. Achoisoy, the full sister, also, right? You get chores for full sister, and the logic is screaming to high heaven. Even if the Torah wouldn't have told me that, yesh li bedin, I can chop it with my own logic. Every 3 years old can get the logic. If the Torah punishes the one who has relations with a half sister, then bas oviv ubasim kol sheken. If halfway, half there, half the is chayav kol sheken, the full one. And says Gemara lamadeta. That teaches you, the Torah is teaching you a lesson, a concept, b'chol Torah kula, she'en oinshin minadin. Wow, en oinshin minadin. You don't punish someone because of kal v'chomer. If the Torah says you punish X, your own logic, although the logic will tell you that X times 2, X plus, surely should be punished, you don't punish him at all, unless the Torah tells you, shkoyech, the full sister. If the Torah wouldn't have told me full sister, I wouldn't have known. One way of explaining it is, I don't remember the whole thing. I remember the classical explanation of a few Rishonim is in Sanhedrin is because you don't know, maybe he requires an even bigger oynish. In other words, if half sister, or let's say eidim zomemim is real. Eidim zomemim who plotted, and there was a decision. There was a decision, right? There was a Gemar Din. What do you say then at the Gemar Din? What do you do to them? Kill him. Yeah. But if he was executed, Mamish, the defendant, the accused, maybe killing is not enough. Maybe killing, you may laugh, what do you mean killing is not enough? Killing is a kapara. Killing is a kapara. When you kill a person, we in the Western mentality, it's the worst. It's not the worst thing because the person Mechalel Shabbos and he got skila, Olam Baba, he comes clean. Especially if he said vidui, right? He comes clean. So maybe eidim zomemim are so bad if the guy was executed upon their words, but b'fayal, maybe killing them wouldn't be enough. Kol shekin by other areas in halacha. That's stam. I'm telling you what the going rate, the going shot is there. The seder. Yeah. Right. Okay, right. Maybe they deserve not to be killed, which is worse than them, and Shemaim, they'll punish them more. Yes, exactly. Now, let's continue. Frag the Gemara, very nice. Now, Oynesh Shamanu. That pasuk about the sister relates to the psukim in Parshas Kedoshim that tell you the punishments, the penalties, the punishment, whatever that is, of all these incest kind of averos or arayas. Now, shamanu, oine shamanu. Now you know you don't punish minadin. Azhoro minayin. How do you know about azhoro? How do you know that a person in oinshin minadin? Good. How do you know ein mazhirin minadin? In other words, let's say the Torah warns you about X. Would I say that there's a warning, a lav? I broke a lav if I did X plus X times 2? Yeah, do we the same logic that just like oynish has to be specific, big or small, so too the azhara, the warning, the lav itself, also has to be specified. How do you know that? Minayin. How do you know? Let's see now. As it develops, you'll understand. Talmud Loimar. These are psukim from Achrei Mois. These psukim are Achrei Mois. It's all series of psukim who don't give us the punishment. They give us the warning, the lavim, the warning. And it says there, don't have relations, don't be intimate with the sister, either from father or the mother. Same story. The guy knows it's a warning. Don't get too near your half sister from the father. Don't get near, in a bad way, to your maternal sister, not paternal. How do you know that the guy is not allowed to? We're not talking about the oynish, the chorus. How do you know that he's warned that there's a special warning, a special lav, one of the Tariq mitzvahs, a new lav in the Torah to tell you about a full sister? Talmud loymar ervas b'seishes tavicha moledes tavicha achois chohi achois cho. Ask anybody what's achotcha, sister, a normal sister, full sister, father, mother, one big happy family. Don't, it's azhara, a warning. Don't be with her in relations. And the question is, what do you mean? Why do I need the Torah to tell me that? Yesh minadin. I can copy it with my own kal v'chomer. Ma'im huza. If there's a warning, a lav al bas imam shelo basaviv ubasaviv shelo bas imoy. If I know about each version of half sister, don't. He's warning you not to. Then basaviv basima l'kol sheken. All the more so, the full sister, father, and mother. Halamadata shein mazirin minadin. That comes to tell you ein mazirin minadin, which means not only you don't punish, there's no azhara, and therefore I don't know enough kimin al alocha. Excuse me, I haven't seen here the rishonim, but basically you can't kind of invent your own lav the oraisa by your own kal v'chomer. It makes sense, maybe very nice. Yeah, let's say the Torah tells me don't do X, and I did a worse version of X times 2 something, but a different case. Not this kind of sister, but a worse kind of sister. If not for the Torah telling me a warning about the sister, there wouldn't be a warning b'chlal. I wouldn't have known it's usher. If the Torah would tell me halfway, I could have lechatchila married my full sister. Elamah, the Torah tells me otherwise. In sister, the Torah is a special pasuk. But if not for that special pasuk, and you can't just with your own logic derive and come to conclusions. If so is usher, kol sheken the other one is usher. We don't do that. We don't say that. We're a little bit pressed for time, and not the end of the world. Yes, I'm listening. Yes. Yeah.
But also,
Okay. Last but not now, frag the Gemara. Chai v'malkius minayin. Up until now, those psukim that told us that the eidim zomemim are bang in the middle when there was a Gmar Din, not before, not after, right? Just with the Gmar Din level, before the execution, before the Mamish Hariga, that's when the eidim zomemim. And one of the words we used was nefesh benefesh. Nefesh benefesh is about killing. Chai v'malkius minayin. Chayiv Malkus, you can't learn from Nefesh B'Nefesh. Let's say they're Chayiv Malkus. They said about someone that he ate Chazir, okay, that he wore shatnez. Then what? They have to get Malkus. Oh, you can't learn that directly from Nefesh B'Nefesh, because Nefesh B'Nefesh is about killing. What about Malkus, which is not killing? Talmud Lama, Rosha, Rosha, as we had the Gzershov already before, we learn many times from killing, from execution, from death penalty to Malkus, Rosha, Rosha. The word Rosha appears, Lotikach Koifel Nefesh Rosha Lamus, Bin HaKoifer Rosha, these are the Psukim Baruch Hashem, Rosha, Rosha, Gzer Shova. Frag the Gemara, Chai V'Golius Minayin. Chai V'Golius are even worse. What's Chai V'Golius? Let's refresh our memory from the first Mishnah. A person, two eidim who came and said someone was rotzech b'shoigeg. We don't make them run to an ir miklat. They don't have to run out to the Golan. What do we do with them? We give them malchus. And they're b'chlal not kashel zomam. We don't give them kashel zomam. So maybe they're out of the system completely, says Rashi. Kashel zomam, well, you wanted to do X, you get X. But they don't get X for X. They wanted to make him run away to a miklat, and they get malchus. Why? Because it says, the pasuk says, only he should run, who below zomemim. So how do you know about them? Also, that when they're plotted, they were planning. So this is the story. And it says the Gemara, Asya rotzeach rotzeach. We learn that from rotzeach. Just like rotzeach b'mezid has all the halachas, including eidim zomemim, who framed someone to be rotzeach b'mezid, and it's only by gmar din. So to rotzeach b'shoigeg is learned from rotzeach b'mezid that there too it's only by gmar din, not before, not after. Tanya, story. Tanya says the Heilige Braisa, sad story with a sad end, but at the end there's a nice word at the end. Tanya. Amar Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboy. Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboy is basically making a confession here. Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboy, a Heilige Tana, is in a way admitting his own mistake. Yeah? And what did he say? Ere be nechoma. I will see the comfort, the nechoma, the consolation. Sounds like he's saying something good about himself. Says Rashi, he's basically cursing himself, but he's saying it in a nice way. Ere be nechoma, says Rashi, loy ere be nechoma. Yeah? I will not see the Nechama, I will not see the Mashiach, I guess he means, or Ere ben Nechama, he means to say, I will get my children dead, lo aleinu, I deserve to have my children dead, and get Nechama, Nichum Avelim. I'll be sitting Shiva. Why? What was so bad Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboy did? He said that, not me. Im lo haragti et zomemim, yeah, because if not, meaning I did, I killed an et zomemim. Why did he paskin to kill an et zomemim? It was a one eidim zomemim out of two. Wow. There were two eidim. One of them was Muzam and accepted the edus against one Beryl and Shmerel. Shmerel was Muzam, Beryl wasn't. And I killed the one of the two. Why did I do that? There was a reason, it was a good reason for me to do that. I had to make a statement. I had to show clear stand against the tzdukim. Sometimes the individual has to give up his life for the greater benefit of the greater good of the big of the tzibur. Why? Because I wanted to teach the tzdukim a lesson. They said eidim zomemim only get killed when the nidon himself gets killed. Only if there's an execution of the nidon. That's we saw in the Mishnah. And therefore I wanted to make a statement. There was a good opportunity for me to show them that, look, here is an aid who was zomem, and there was only zomam. There was a gmar din and no execution yet. And I'm taking him and I'm killing him to show that tzdukim, we are serious business here. We have serious business. We follow the Torah and not the shtusim of the tzdukim. So in a way, he is regretting, in a way not, because he's saying, I had a reason to do that. Omar l'Shimon ben Shatach. Shimon ben Shatach is giving him over the head. Oh, very good. You remember, very nice. There is what was wrong with what he did. Rabbi ben Taboy really is doing something right. L'choira, he killed the zomemim after Gmar Din to show the tzdukim. The problem is, only Shimon ben Shatach, your issue is Ere ben Nechama, yeah, same Matbeh Loshon, im lo shofachto dam noki. You killed a person, you killed an innocent person. Why? Shamamu chachamim, en eidim zomim nerogin, ad shezomu shneim. In other words, yeah, it's not so clear if Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboy knew about it. Now Shimon ben Shatach is telling him as a Rebbe, what you did was outright wrong and not justified at all. Because the rule about eidim zomemim, as we saw and we will see, next week, that eidim zomemim are only get the punishment, the real punishment, the execution, if both were muzam. Imano isem in plural, because we always know aid, as you asked me, parents, although it says singular, it means two, right? When you say glasses, I don't have to tell you there are two glasses, right? I'm saying glasses automatically means double, two, right? I don't have to say there are two. And therefore, here too, eidim zomemim only get executed v'chula punished if both were muzam. But if somebody comes to the eidim and say, I don't know, you, Beryl, Shmerel, you were with me in Haifa last Wednesday, 4 o'clock, not in Bet Shemesh, Shula. So maybe you should now. The edus is possible, as far as I remember. We'll see it next week. But Lemaisa, because you need both eidim to be good. That's a question at least. But to mamish go ahead and execute them? No. That you only do if both were muzam, not one of the two. So in that respect, what you did, you killed an innocent person. Yeah, you're trying to show your point against the what's the name against the tzdukim. Very nice. But your mamish killed a guy. Shaloi kedin. So accepted it. Miyad kibel olav Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi she'en moira hora. There was his teshuva process. First of all, he accepted that he realized he did something wrong, and he only accepted to that from now on he will only be moira hoiro in Beis Din, in halacha, only under Shimon ben Shatach. Only when his Rebbe Shimon ben Shatach is in there in the area, is to basically supervise him. Then he'll be moira under his guidance and scrutiny. Now, and another. And now, what about the tshuva that he killed a person inadvertently? Indirectly. The entire life of Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi, he would lie over, procrastinate. Yeah, he would be mishtatech. What? Prostrate. Sorry, no, prostrate. Right. Procrastinate. He would prostrate on the aid. He would crouch over the kvura of that person of the aid, and his voice of crying would be heard. He cried because of what he did. Basically, I guess, asking mechila from that person for killing him. Because they thought that the dead person, you hear his voice. They didn't really know. Yeah, Rashi says, Laila bayom enen roin oisoi. At night, they wouldn't see Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi. They would say maybe the one crying is the dead person can cry and it can be heard, spiritual level of the past. We don't have that. Omar, Yehuda ben Taboi, so Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi didn't buy into that, maybe let's not cause myself busha and, follow their story. No, he admitted in public, Omar koili shalihu, it's my voice, I'm sorry, I'm the one crying, not the dead guy. Teidu, and I'll prove it to you, Lamachar humeis, ein koil nishma. Tomorrow he will die, speaking about himself. He didn't want to be posech pelasoton, to say bad, to predict bad things. He said, that guy, meaning myself, eventually, machor, tomorrow or the day after, when I will die, you will see that the voice stops. And that will be your litmus test. That will be your proof. Yeah, because once I will die, then the voice will stop. What do you mean? No, but he's proving it. No, you think that the dead guy is doing it. No, but everyone else thought that the dead guy is crying, not him. No, he did. No. Well,
making the noise.
But they didn't know that of the people.
He stopped making the noise.
No, but yeah, you know that, and I know that. But the people thought that a dead man. So if Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi dies, why should that stop the crying of the dead person? What?
When he dies, it'll stop.
True. That proves that he's the one who's crying. Because if the dead man is crying, who cares whether Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi is dead or alive?
That I have confession, immediately in public from Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi. I now know that reason why that the voice stopped is because
He's dead.
Yehuda ben Taboi is dead.
Omer l'Ravacha brei derove l'Ravashi. Now Ravacha brei derove told Ravashi, it doesn't prove anything. Maybe it's what you mean. Dilma, maybe bedina kam ba'adei. Maybe the fact that Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi died, he went to Beis Din Shalmala, right, and then a din in Shemaim. Once they had a din in Shemaim, they sorted it out. They sorted it out somehow. Once he had it in Shemaim, and I guess Rabbi Yehuda ben Taboi was punished, Then the dead man was crying. The dead guy was crying, the victim. Now he came to, to peace. Now he's like happy. Oh, they're punishing him. Inami, in a more positive spin, Piusi Paise, maybe in Shemaim, he appeased him, and they made peace. In Shemaim, Rabbi Ben Tabai said, I'm so sorry I killed you. I really did mean. I wanted to show that we are strong against Tzdukim. And the guy said, okay, it's all part of the past. And they hugged and kissed in Shemaim, the Neshamis. And Mimela, no, not too late, never too late. Even after that, you can be Metaken, bis 120. So basically, could be really that the one crying was a dead man. Elamai, once Rabbi Ben Tabai died, Mimela, something happened in Himmel, in Shemaim, that sorted things out. Piusepaise, and therefore he stopped crying, so we don't know. These are very holy things. Well, we're finishing with something good. Piusepaise, we all have peace, pius and peace, appeasing, atzlacha, uvracha, and thank you, and I'll miss you. And Be'ezras Hashem, back next Wednesday, which I believe is Yud Aleph Tammuz, if I'm not mistaken. Atzlacha, uvracha, shkoyach. Yeah, I will send the recording today. Muchas gracias.